Welcome to the Courtroom Chronicles. This channel is dedicated to educational content based on real-life cases and true events. This content shared here is drawn directly from the actual case file, and no names, places, or items have been changed. However, the content has been carefully summarized and presented for educational purposes in a comprehension format to inform, enlighten, and spark meaningful discussions. Whether you're here to learn, reflect, or simply understand the real-world scenarios better, you're in the right place. We believe in the power of truthful storytelling to educate and inspire. Disclaimer: while all stories are based on real cases, they are presented in a condensed and structured format for clarity and learning. Viewer discretion is advised where necessary. This case is cited from the Nigerian High Court online file, which is public record. This is a case between Atlantic Nominees Limited versus Honor Minister, FCT Court, High Court of the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja. Judge, Honor Justice O.A. Musa. Date of judgment, March 19, 2021. Background and claims. The claimant, Atlantic Nominees Limited, sought declaratory reliefs and an injunction against the defendant, Honor Minister, Federal Capital Territory, FCT, over plot number 27 within the Central Business District of Abuja. The claimant asserted that it had been granted a statutory right of occupancy over the plot in 1988, had duly paid all required fees, N84,452.5, and complied with recertification policies. The defendant denied these assertions, claimed the documents were forged, and stated that the claimant was not on record as having been allocated the land. Reliefs sought by the claimant: 1. Declaration of valid and subsisting right of occupancy. 2. Confirmation of full and final payment. 3. An order for issuance of a certificate of occupancy. 4. A perpetual injunction restraining interference with the land. 5. N10 million in general damages. Evidence presented: 1. Receipts for land application, Exhibit PP1. 2. Acknowledgement of application, PP2. 3. Offer of terms of grant, PP3, and acceptance, PP4. 4. Bill for payment, PP5, and proof of payment, PP6. 5. Recertification documents, PP7 and PP8. All documents were admitted without objection. Defendant's position: 1. Denied issuing the documents. 2. Claimed forgery without substantiating with original records. 3. Did not call the supposed signatories to the documents to refute them. Legal arguments: 1. Claimant argued its documents met the legal threshold under the Land Use Act. 2. Defendant bore the burden of proof on forgery, Section 135 and 140 Evidence Act. 3. The court emphasized that oral denials cannot override certified documentary evidence. 4. The court relied on precedents which held that failure to challenge the authenticity of admitted documents weakens the accuser's case. Judgment Justice O.A. Musa ruled in favor of the claimant and granted all declaratory and injunctive reliefs except the N10 million damages due to lack of specific evidence to support it. Who won and why? The claimant, Atlantic Nominees Limited, won the case. Reasons the defendant lost: 1. Failure to prove forgery. The defendant made serious allegations of forgery but failed to provide any concrete proof, such as calling the signatories of the allegedly forged documents or tendering contradicting official records. 2. Admission of documents. The claimant's documents were certified true copies and were not objected to during admission, making them legally valid and admissible. 3. Burden of proof. The defendant failed to discharge the legal burden required under the Evidence Act to rebut the claimant's documentary evidence. 4. Procedural weaknesses. The defendant did not properly demonstrate internal inconsistencies in the documents or practices that would challenge their authenticity. Preventive legal analysis: how this dispute could have been avoided. 1. Effective record keeping by FCT authority. If the defendant had maintained and produced comprehensive allocation and payment records, it could have avoided or defended the claim with better credibility. 2. Transparent recertification processes. A structured and traceable recertification policy would have protected both parties from such disputes. 3. Timely issuance of C of O. Delays in issuing certificates of occupancy foster doubt and leave room for administrative interference or misappropriation. 4. Prompt resolution of file loss claims. Rather than claiming the file was missing, the FCT authority should have initiated a formal investigation and communicated transparently. 5. Legal due diligence. The claimant could have instituted a legal follow-up earlier to compel the issuance of the certificate and avoid prolonged exposure to the risk of administrative manipulation. Thanks so much for watching, fam. I really appreciate you spending your time with me. If you enjoyed the content, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, drop a comment below, and let me know what you think about the case. I love hearing your thoughts and feedback. And hey, if you felt a connection or learned something new, give this video a like and share it with someone who might enjoy it too. Until next time, stay safe, stay real, and I'll catch you in the next one.